Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity 2. Well, we did a little bounty hunting on the island, and now we've got some quests to turn back into Nekataka. But first, I need to change my party around. You hear a set of heavily armored footsteps from down a nearby alley. I was going to get Maya back in my group. The narrow streets in this neighborhood are largely deserted at night, and the echoes of heavily armored footfalls carry down the cobbled lanes. A glance around the corner reveals an aging meadowfolk man, garishly dressed in the styling of a Deerwooded noble. Lamplight glints from the rings on his fingers and chains around his thin neck. Damnation! I told you, incompetence, it was not the right street. The words are slurred, as if the man's tongue is too heavy for his mouth. Several men and women, all too heavily armored for the climate, accompany the man. Apologies, master, if we... Shut up, fool! By Magran's flame, is it always this hot? I'd pay 1,000 dukes for another drink. Approach the group. One of the guards leans in towards the man. This is not the safest of streets, sir, perhaps. It's your job to keep me safe, not prattle on like a schoolmarm. As you approach, one of the guards puts a gauntleted handle on the man's shoulder, but he twists out from under it. Finally, someone with a thought in their head. He pads towards you, gesturing in broad swipes of the arm as he speaks. These imbeciles have gotten us entirely lost. Can you point the way to, was it Queen's Birth, I believe? Let's see. Aristocrat, diplomacy, greetings, my lord. The man smiles broadly. Ah, a gentleman of culture. A pleasure, sir. He bows his head. He blinks as he rises. By the flame, you're the Watcher of Caed Nua, aren't you? I attended your court once. Lord Belmer of Echo Bay, he laughs. To find you here of all places. I thought you died. I got better. I got better. Give the noble directions. Do we have streetwise? Yeah, sure. Yeah, Seraphim. The man sighs at Seraphim's rambling directions. For Magram's sake, idiots everywhere. Good luck. The nobleman stares dumbly as you walk away. Yeah, you can rob him, but I'm not that kind of person, at least not at the moment, so... Yeah, I got better. I thought you died. Well, I got better. Okay, let's get our character, our party put back together then. Alright. Let's see what quests we've got. Things in Nekataka. Okay. So, don't need that. Okay, don't have that yet. That's not here. What the hell? Okay, I should have her in the party. Bounty doesn't require anything. Maya is useful for this. I don't have that bounty yet. Got to speak with Maya again. Maya on her return. Best dunnage. Sayeka. Don't have anything required on that. Don't have anything required on that. So pretty much just Maya. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's put Seraphim aside and grab Maya. Accept. Accept, and then head back into Nekataka. Queen's Birth first, because we have to turn in a bounty. Loading screen, the game. Alright. Anytime now, Deadfire. Oh, God. Come along, game. Can you not load faster? Come on. Jesus. It's taking forever. Okay. Here we go. We got Maya that we need to level up. We will give her, I want to say mechanics. Sure, go ahead. And we'll give you survival. Sure. Alright, new ability. What's this? Play dead. Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need it. Improved critical might help. Concussive tranquilizer would be useful. But she's already got that. Let's just get improved critical then. Next, alright, she's got warbow. She's got a good firearm there. Do we want to give her, I guess, some sort of, I guess, a spear or something? Sure. Alright, time to talk to Maya.
So, we're back. Did you miss us?
Maya smiles a little, the side of her mouth twitching. Ishiza offers a friendly squawk. Of course I missed you, Maya.
Oh, thanks. It was just me and the bird for a couple of days, and we're sick to death of each other. Something
I missed your
happened
DPS.
and it's got me all turned around.
Maya fixes her attention on a distant point. Speak your mind.
I didn't exactly deliver a missive. That parchment was meant for me, and I delayed opening it as long as I could.
Really now?
Atsura gave me a name and a location. That was all. When you're a sharpshooter by trade and your boss doesn't offer clarification, you learn to arrive at your own conclusions.
Yeah, so basically a sniper.
The rub of it is, my target wasn't some ship's captain or an ogre swinging a fence post. He was the Ranga of a Huana tribe.
She raises her brow and studies you for any reaction. Jodi's gleam with dark amusement. Takehu draws a quick breath of astonishment. Why don't you start from the beginning? Nodding to you, Maya shrugs away some tension that you hadn't noticed before.
The village was beachside. No sign of foreign occupation. I might have been the first outsider to make land in quite a while.
I see.
They were just simple folk going about their lives. Couldn't have been more than 50 of them. Their Ranga, though? He had a voice that carried, that echoed in the hearts of his people.
So a decent orator. Go on.
Here's my target. You can guess what happened next.
Maya shrugs, squeezing her forearms to release some tension. Tell me anyway.
Picked a spot and a time of day. Morning, west-facing, plenty of tree cover. The light was in my favor. The winds were low. He left his hut, mussed his kid's hair, and
Don't
set
tell me.
for the beach on the other side
At least
of
she
the
didn't splatter him all over his
checking
kid.
lobster traps.
Pressing his lips together, Takehu studies Maya intently as she speaks. He pulls at the ends of his hairs, twirling them anxiously between his fingers.
Ishi followed him overhead, and I followed him with my sights, holding my breath, waiting for the right moment. And then I stopped. I pictured all those captains I had riddled with holes and wondered, is this how we treat civilians? Is this how wars are won?
Go on.
I shot him in the back of the head. He was a corpse before he hit the ground.
She opens her fingers like a flower blooming. Jodi nibbles on her lip to hide a spreading smile. And Takehu raises his finger to speak up, but slowly lowers
It took a while for his kin to find him, but only seconds to figure out that he didn't die of a weak heart.
She chews her bottom lip and glances toward Ishiza.
Kara, that is enough.
Takehu's even expression twists into a mask of agony. Maya shifts her attention to him with alarm. Thoughtful Jodi rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw.
I say she can spare her breath for the authorities and Serpent's Crown.
Maya rolls her eyes.
That's not going to happen, Blue Guy.
Maya's hand strays toward her belt, perking in attention as Ishiza ruffles his tail feathers. I like to hear her out before making any hasty decisions.
I will be watching you, assassin.
Takehu points to his eyes and then points to Maya's. He grimaces with disgust.
If you two were finished, I was just getting to the point.
Yep.
This tribe surprised me. They acted like I kicked over their anthill. They got mad. They got to work. The old Ranga went onto a pyre, and the new one snapped into place. She took up the call for unity while the embers were still warm.
Maya shakes her head, grinning a little.
Acted like I hadn't just killed her boss for doing the same thing.
So killing the chieftain didn't rattle the tribe?
They mourned, they seethed, they tore at their hair. But they rebuilt. By the time I left, they were talking about peace with the other tribes like it was inevitable.
A slow smile of astonishment rises to her face. Holding his silence, Teku nevertheless wears a fierce and self-satisfied grin.
Whatever it is, keep it to yourself, fish boy.
Maya clicks her tongue at him sharply. Aratoi can learn from this and be more selective next time. It doesn't sound like your mission was a success.
I completed my mission. I leave out Sura to worry about whether or not it was a success.
Palagina tips her head up and smiles. Yeah, because Palagina's all about that. Sighing to herself, Maya tugs at her hair bun, worrying a loose lock.
If you don't mind, I need to let this brew in my head for a while and see what bubbles up. Thanks for letting me unload in the meantime.
Sure, no problem.
We should talk to us.
Just don't unload into me! God! Palagina nods, the corners of her mouth turning into a faint grin. Alright, let's be off. Alright, we have stuff to get about. Let's go turn in the bounty first and kick us into fast walk. Come on, peoples. You can get there. The hell you doing? Dancing on a street corner in the rain. Alright, let's get this to Oboko and Luca. Luca's right there. Let's talk to Oboko.
Hello, my hunter. To what do I owe this delight?
Give Nomu's head. Here,
I
catch.
hope I will still find this disgusting when I am important enough to toast with the elite bounty.
He lifts the severed head by the hair, wincing all the while, and passes you a pouch of coins.
I tell them all that the captain of your ship will always be my favorite hunter.
What bounties do you have available?
Sea
Sea
Troll
Troll.
has been making a name for himself, raiding fishing villages with his minions. They call him Tahe.
Dahe?
That's thief to the locals.
Okay.
I hear the Huana hate few things more than a food stealer.
I can imagine why.
Warriors fan out to catch the fiend, but so far they have no luck. Tahe can't have roamed far from his latest raid on an island southwest of Nikitaka.
I'll return with his head. Farewell. And you better be available to catch it. Now, wasn't there something called Luca? I gotta talk to Atsura. Where the hell is Luca? The one that I'm supposed to turn it in at. Wait. Here we go. Talk to Luca. There we go. And since they're right here,
from the tedious bureaucracy.
and I can't talk to Luca.
Dim in the lantern.
I gotta wait until morning. Oh wait, we got level ups again. Okay, RPG crawler. We will get you a little bit of explosives, a little bit more diplomacy. As far as wow, okay, we got a new power level. Nice. Let's take a look at what we got. We got delayed fireball. We got Langrath's warding staff, which is pretty terrible simply because I have to be in the melee to use it. Got that in the Grimoire. Mingoth's Killing Bolt. Oh, nice. That's like necromantic kind of stuff. Substantial Phantom. Martial Power is basically Tensor's transformation. Wall of Draining. And what do we have over here in terms of powers? That's all Blood Mage. Blood Mage takes all that off. Wait, what? What does this say? That Delayed Fireball is in my Grimoire. Now, I could switch my Grimoire around. Let's try Wall of Draining. There we go. Thank you very much. And next up is Jody. And Jody, we will give you a little bit of Arcana. And we will give you a little bit more history. Although, I'm coming up to stuff where 10 is not maxing stuff out, so we shall see. New power level, so we've automatically got Wall of Thorns. Okay. Storm of Holy Fire is an area of effect. Fire counters frost. Cleansing Flame is kind of a dispel and direct damage. Resurrection. Boom. Okay. Minor Avatar. Don't necessarily need that. I'm thinking the area of effect here. Let me take a look at this. 5-foot radius. That's not huge. But it lasts. It says repeatedly inflicting burn damage. Oh well. What's next? Next is Pelagina. Pelagina. We'll give you athletics and we'll give you intimidate. We'll make you a one song bird here. Sacred Immolation. The paladin focuses their faith and self-immolates in blue flame. Each time the spell pulses, enemies in the immediate area take burn damage. So they take damage while dealing damage. Oh, but you can upgrade it to something later on. Alright. Let's take Reinforcing Command. And we'll take this one, yeah. I think I'm barely going to use it, but we shall see. Alright.
Yes, of course.
So, God, where do I've got to basically spend the time until the morning. So what time is it in game? How do you tell what time it is in game? Here we go. Hour 26. So yeah, if I just rent a room.
What can I do for you? You see anything you like?
I'll just rent a room till morning. And then we'll go next door and
Yes?
and talk to Luca and all of that. Man, we're still turning things in this city. The city does not want me to leave.
Do you ever wonder if it's unhealthy to carry a lantern full of lost souls?
You mean like if I keep at it, they're gonna do something worse and give me nightmares?
I suppose we're past the point of unhealthy.
Yeah, I guess so. What, are their souls like radioactive in there or something? Well, come on in. See what we got in here. What do we have in here? We've got to talk to Luca. I don't know where Luca... There we go. Luca's right here. Talk to Luca. The clerk busies himself about the room, favoring you with a brief glance. He rubs under his eyes and exhales through his nose.
Welcome back to the office, sir.
He bows to Pelagina.
Ado, Luca.
She dips her head slightly in acknowledgement.
If you or your friend have business with the company, I am disposed to listen.
Let's examine the clerk. Luca's shirt is spotted with a number of faded purple stains that you recognize as droplets of wine. Someone has tried, unsuccessfully, to wash them out. Noting your interest, Luca tugs his jacket close.
The servers at the tavern are clumsy. Most clumsy, indeed.
Yes, he clears his throat and fans his neck. I spoke with Tawina outside. You have a claim on this tribe's land?
A lawful claim, I might add. No matter what the native says to the contrary. He showed up with a forged contract, as if I wouldn't know the difference between our paperwork and theirs.
He gestures dismissively out the door.
Tawenu is lucky I only seized the forgery. The galley is too good for his kind.
There must be some agreeable way to sort out Tawuna's problem.
Your villager friend would do well not to stand between the company and our prize. The company is allowed to solve problems as we see fit. And right now, Taweno is a problem. Besides, lying is second nature to the Ranga heir and his ignorant cliente.
Talking about the Duape homeland. You mentioned you were anxious about talking to him. Why?
The crown has been known to grimace at our client tribal privileges.
He steeples his fingers together and chooses his words with care.
We do not allow local trouble to stymie us so that Rawatai can steal an advantage.
You're ashamed of this practice, and you don't want to admit it.
Postenago, the company has every reason to congratulate itself. Now move along. I have larger matters to resolve than the fate of one insignificant island.
You know what? Talk
This
to him
room
again.
stifles already.
About your little problem with
This
him.
again? Precomplan, can it?
How much would it cost for you to lose the original
Did
contract?
those words really just escape your lips in broad daylight?
His eyebrows arch with
It
astonishment.
would cause me more trouble than a few paltry coins across my desk are worth.
What is the purpose behind behind such a
Simple
contract?
enough. We take on the burden of caring for the tribe in exchange for luminous Adra rights. Taweno is myopic if he thinks his tribe can thrive under Aranga in this climate.
We're talking about the Duape homeland. This isn't right.
This is the homeland they signed away for money, Ak.
Takehu rocks back on his heels, nodding to himself. Maya sighs through her
I
nose.
can almost guarantee the company will put it to more dignified use.
Keep negotiating like this, and you'll drive the Wana into the arms of the Royal Deadfire Company.
Are we feeling honest today, or did you eat some fermented corpse fruit? But breaking a contract for diplomacy's sake is simply not done.
The company loses nothing by letting go of an island they never had.
I would be remiss to uphold one contract to the detriment of our operation. Go on then. Some of us have more important duties.
All right, thank you very much, Luca, for seeing reason before I had to decapitate you and keep your head in a desk drawer. Okay, let's see.
Welcome back. Governor Alvari will see you.
All right, thank you very much. I do have to turn this in.
Ah, good, you're back. I hope you had a pleasant voyage.
Alvari looks up from her papers, giving you her full attention. I found the Idra vein.
Before you get too far on the way, I think you ought to come with me. Director Castor will want to hear from you in person.
All right. Getting all that diplomacy on. Although I did anger Shodi by trying to bribe that dude. Oh well. She'll get over it. The man who rises to greet you has a tidy, scholarly bearing, only emphasized by the thin-framed lenses he pushes further up his nose. He clasps his hands together, offering you a smile equal parts polite and relieved.
Alvari tells me you were kind enough to look into this business on Pococahara for us. I hope you bring good news.
The Adra pillar was corrupted, but I managed to restore it. It should be safe to harvest.
Incredible. You see? What fortune you had to find a watcher, Alvari. An Adra vein of that size will go a long way. We need only send a ship.
Assuming we can replace the people we lost. I notice Beza is not with you. Did you find any sign of the expedition?
They died in the ruins of Pococahara. The defenses were too much for them.
Sorry end for such dedicated individuals. How very fortunate that
Less fortune and more
lived
skill.
to tell their tale. I believe I can take things from here, Alvari. Agrasima. The Watcher and I have more business to
Do we?
discuss. Oh, and do pay the man for his trouble first.
Alvari wordlessly hands you a coin purse. She bows stiffly, then turns to depart. Goodbye, Alvari. So what we got next?
I thought it best I speak with you face to face. Watchers are not so numerous here in the Deadfire, especially those of such storied backgrounds as yourself.
Are they numerous anywhere though, really? I mean, all things considered?
I'd read much about your exploits alongside the Crucible Knights in Defiance Bay. Their little experiments. And I think that we are, each of us, in a position
Really
to
now?
offer each other something that we cannot.
Could you
find
offer me
elsewhere.
another castle? Because a god stepped on mine.
The Valian Trading Company has had a presence on this island for nearly a century now. We have the greatest fleet on the seas, the support of the richest men and women in the world. What can the Royal Deadfire Company offer? A soldier's wages, so that you can elevate the fortunes of a distant king? And the Queen? A place in the Kahanga tribe among all the rest of these neglected people. You've lived outside the caste system all these years. Are
You know,
eager
this
to
man
return?
does make a convincing argument here.
I can give you money, fame, certainly. But the men and women of the company, we set our aims high.
Do you now?
And if I only wanted to offer you work as an Adra inspector, I would have let Alvari deal with you.
So, what is it that you
The
want?
Valian Trading Company has maintained an outpost here in Nekataka for nearly a century now. It was only 2 years ago that we discovered the effects of luminous Adra with the aid of our animancers and several watchers.
Okay.
Flaune Alette has continued to study the potential of luminous Adra in all manner of advances. Why content ourselves to sell all this Adra as a luxury when we might use it?
Oh, now here comes the grand plan.
But of course you understand all of this. Alette sent word of your involvement in her latest experiment.
Oh, did she now?
A very dramatic first attempt, I hear. Though Alette has a tendency to gloss over details. But I want to hear it from you.
My soul. If you ever want to drop by and visit Rimgrand, now you know where to go. My soul was sent into the beyond, into one of Rimgrand's realms.
You'll put the priest into a frenzy with talk like that. Communion with the gods is their business.
Despite the levity in his voice, Castle regards you with gloomy regret.
A near-death experience does little to recommend Alette's efforts. I am glad you are in one piece, Watcher.
Yeah, that's what I specialize
We
in.
are in the early days of Alette's research. Flawed as this outing was, there is promise there. This
Yep.
is only the start, you know. The very dawn of a new age of discovery. But just imagine.
Castle spreads his hands. His eyes behind his spectacles are fever bright with enthusiasm.
Imagine if we could transport goods and people more quickly than any vessel or horse.
Teleportation.
Cure every kind of ailment. Perhaps cure disease altogether. We'll extend our lifespans by decades. Maybe even
See, this is
centuries.
the talk I like to hear.
This has all been the work of a single outpost. I want there to be a dozen outposts, 100. Animancers working together to better our lives.
You need to calm down there, Director. You're starting to sound like a supervillain.
Look at what we have left behind. Old Valia is a battlefield at constant war with itself. But the republics have risen from that past. We can rise farther still.
Really now.
And in doing so, we will raise all of Aora with us.
Belfetto.
Pelagina's outburst is restricted to a single word, but her gaze is riveted to the Director. For a moment, you see the blue flames of zeal flickering the depths of her eyes. Old Valia is not yet lost.
Watcher, if you believe it, so shall I. But I've said enough. Too much, I think. There will be more experiments to come.
Yeah,
Until then,
I don't
I have
know.
more ground
I
to
mean,
task I need assistance
I-
with. Nothing that should put your spirit in any danger.
I understand the concept that they're going with the storytelling, basically setting this company up as like a like an exploitative kind of thing. But this man's got a point. He's gonna harness this thing for good.
Nekataka sees its share of smuggling.
Advancement.
I doubt that would surprise anyone. But we've learned of a particular exchange that will have more dire effects than a few spoiled Hawana peasants.
There are no peasants in the tribes. Your people created this term.
Peace, man. They certainly aren't kings or queens, are they? There is a Royal Deadfire Company official by the name of Quarno who has been meeting in secret with one of the Principi. I do not believe he
That's
works with
interesting.
the approval of his masters. He meets with a Captain Tola, a known pirate and smuggler. I hope I don't have to tell you that an alliance between a crooked royal official and the Principe is not the kind of trouble any of us
It
need.
certainly isn't.
I have a woman, Britza, waiting in the luminous bathhouse in Periki's Overlook. The smugglers do business there, and she has kept an eye on things. I promise to send assistance. Find her, and she will tell you what she knows.
I'll do it, sure.
Excellent. Meeting you has been a stroke of luck, Watcher. I'll await your report.
And that will give me more information to give to the Deadfire Company if they've scripted it. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, they set these guys up as kind of like exploitative things. You can see how they kind of abuse the villagers and such. However, the people that are dealing with it, as shown by that clerk, do have some humanity, so that is well written. On the other hand, the Royal Deadfire Company, that's the other one, they are supposed to be slightly more honorable by the way they're written. So I kind of like them as well. It's actually like legitimately difficult to decide which one to go with. We'll go with metaphysics here. Oh wow, new power levels. So what we got? We got Blast of Frost. Okay, we've got a good AE frosting. Rusted armor. Ooh, that could be so useful, but it's single target, isn't it? So what do we got here? Nature's Bounty. I've already got all my slots filled. This problem. Oh yes, more tentacles in the form of a vine. Got that? Okay, and then finally, Weather the Storm is a protective thing. Yeah, let's get that Weather the Storm then. Now we have plant tentacles.
Happy to oblige.
Let's see what we can do. Oh, this leads us out here. Well, is there anything to pick up here? Oh, I've already looted this place. Well, shall we continue then?
I hear you.
Is there stairs down? Yes, there is. Thank you very much. Let's head out the front door. Well, you know, I've got more stuff to turn in, but it's going to be in other areas of town. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up here, and we're going to continue the random turn-ins next time. For now, it's been the RPG Crawler with Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. As always, if you like what you see, remember to leave a like, comment if you got any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribe Star, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.